my hair! We're gonna be the most beautiful girls in this kingdom.
In part 1, 3 girls stole a mermaid's hair. What they didn't know was that they had awakened something ancient. And now, they and their entire village must pay.
They ran, not looking back, not stopping, their feet slamming hard against the ground, like something was chasing them. One of the girls broke away. She ran faster, desperate to get to her hut, right ahead of her. She rushed inside. Bang! The door slammed shut. She locked it, pressed her back against it, breathing hard, too fast, too loud. Then, slowly silence returned. She slowly lifted her head, facing the small mirror on the wall. Her reflection stared back at her, shaking, afraid. Then, something moved behind her, but the room was empty. Her reflection wasn't. She froze. Very slowly, she leaned closer to the mirror. Behind her reflection, the mermaid stood. Too close, not blinking, not breathing, just watching her. Water dripping from her body onto a floor that wasn't wet. The girl's lips trembled. She didn't turn. She couldn't. The reflection tilted its head, but the girl didn't move. A drop of water slid down the mirror. Then, the mermaid's hair moved, inside the reflection, stretching, reaching. You took what is mine. The voice came from nowhere, everywhere. The girl tried to scream. Nothing came out. Then suddenly, the reflection lunged forward. She screamed! She shot up from her mat, screaming. Her hut was empty and dry. Oh no, that wasn't a dream. Outside, she heard a loud thud. A bird hit the ground. Another thud. She slowly turned toward the door. Something was wrong. Very wrong.
The next morning, the villagers woke up to the most terrifying sight they have ever seen in years. Dead birds lay on the ground, their wings stiff and still. Goats that were healthy the night before now lay lifeless beside the paths. A cold silence filled the air. Then, the farmers ran to their fields, and their cries broke the quiet morning. The crops had withered overnight. Green leaves had turned brown. Fresh yam vines lay flat like they had been stepped on by something no one could see. What is happening? One old man whispered, his hands shaking. This is not ordinary, another woman said, holding her head. Before anyone could find an answer, a loud drum echoed across the village. Then another. People froze. No one played those drums unless something terrible had happened. The drums grew louder. Then 2 royal guards appeared, running through the village paths. The chief priest calls everyone, one shouted. All villagers must gather at the square immediately, the other added. No one argued. No one delayed. Within minutes, the entire village stood in the square, restless and afraid. Among them stood the 3 girls. Susan, one of the girls, could barely stand still. Her hands trembled. Her eyes kept moving from face to face. We should say something, she whispered, her voice shaking. Keep quiet, Sandra snapped under her breath, not even looking at her. Abigail folded her arms tightly, her jaw stiff, trying to hide her fear. Then, the drum stopped, and a deep silence fell. Slowly, the chief priest stepped forward. His face was dark. His eyes were heavy, like a man who had seen something no human should see. He raised his staff. No one spoke. "You have brought something into this village," he said, his voice low but strong. "Something we have not seen in many years." People began to murmur. The chief priest struck his staff on the ground. Silence returned instantly. "Listen carefully," he continued. "Last night, the waters spoke." A wave of fear passed through the crowd. "The spirits of the river are angry," he said. "Very angry." The chief priest's voice grew heavier. "Some people among us have done the abominable." The word fell like a stone. "They have stolen from the mermaids." A loud murmur rose from the crowd. "Stolen?" someone shouted. "From the mermaids?" another cried. The chief priest did not raise his voice, but his next words cut through the noise. "If what was taken is not returned," he paused, "this village will be destroyed." Gasps spread like fire. Mothers held their children tighter. Men looked around, confused and afraid. The chief priest lifted his staff again. "You have 7 days," he said. 7 days to confess. 7 days to return what was taken. Or we will all suffer the consequences. His voice echoed through the square. "Confess, or we will all be destroyed." The silence was heavy and terrifying. No one moved. No one spoke. And among the crowd, the 3 girls stood frozen. Susan's lips trembled. Her eyes filled with tears. "I can't do this," she whispered. But Sandra nudged her hard. "Say nothing," she muttered. Abigail looked away, her heart pounding loudly in her chest. Around them, the villagers whispered in fear. But none of them knew. The danger was not just coming. It had already begun. That evening, when the sun began to hide behind the trees, the 3 girls slipped quietly out of the village. They walked fast, straight into the forest. Deep inside, where the trees were thick and the air felt heavy, they stopped. Then Susan broke down. "I can't do this," she cried, holding her head. "We have to tell them. We have to confess." Sandra turned sharply. "Are you mad? Do you want to die?" Susan shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "But if we don't confess, the whole village will die." "And if we do," Abigail cut in quietly, "we will be the ones they will kill." Susan froze. "They will throw us into the river," Abigail said, her voice low and cold. "You heard the priest. They will sacrifice us to appease the spirits." The words hung in the air. Susan's knees almost gave way. "So what do we do?" she whispered. Sandra stepped closer. "We say nothing." Abigail nodded slowly. we keep quiet. And this will pass.
It won't pass, Susan cried. Did you not see what happened this morning?
Sandra grabbed her arm tightly. Listen to me, she said. If you open your mouth, we are finished. Tears rolled down Susan's cheeks. Silence fell again. The forest suddenly felt darker and heavier. Then Sandra raised her hand. We must swear, she said. No one talks. No one confesses. No matter what happens. Abigail placed her hand on top. I swear. Slowly, Susan looked at both of them. Her lips trembled. Then, with shaking hands, she placed hers on theirs. I swear. And just like that, their fate was sealed. What's coming next is something the entire village will never forget in a hurry. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, like, share, and drop a comment below. Your support truly means a lot.